Out in the Panhandle of Nebraska, a native insect is causing damage during the growing season in wheat. Wheat stem sawfly is widespread for wheat growers in the Panhandle and beyond. A team, though, at the High Plains Ag Lab near Sidney continues to research that pest with the hopes of finding some relief in the future. Earlier this month, they had the opportunity to travel out to Sidney to learn more about the research that's currently underway. The wheat stem sawfly is a native insect that naturally infests many cool season grasses. However, it prefers one cool season grass the most: wheat. Unfortunately, wheat acres are the single most desirable feature in the western landscapes that attract and encourage the production of a thriving community of wheat stem sawflies. It has become a big issue facing wheat growers in the Panhandle region.
Yeah, so we're standing here next to one of our sawfly trials. Sawfly is one of our it's our primary pest and issue that we are facing right now with our wheat production acres in western Nebraska. And so, being that it's the number one issue that our growers are facing, it's the number one priority for us as researchers to be out here and trying to solve this problem.
From the Panhandle of Nebraska to Colorado, Kansas, the Dakotas, and Montana, wheat stem sawfly is becoming a challenge as it girdles the stem, which can then knock the wheat crop to the ground.
The number one issue that growers complain about is the lodging that happens at wheat harvest. This pest will, it lays an egg in the wheat right now at this time of year. That egg will hatch, and that larvae will burrow down to the base of the wheat plant, and then it will girdle that plant, and it'll make it really easy for it to lodge about the time harvest comes around. So it's not uncommon out in this region to see a lot of wheat fields that close to harvest, or especially around the borders of the field, to be laying flat on the ground, and which makes it very hard for harvest and makes it often we see a yield loss because of that.
Creech says there is no silver bullet when it comes to management. There is no insecticide that is widely effective, and no current varieties of wheat hold up against that pest. At the research site near Sidney, a University of Nebraska team is working to learn more about wheat stem sawfly as well as its economic impact.
Just the mere presence of that wheat stem sawfly inside the plant, and that larvae burrowing down and chewing on the inside of the plant, we found that that's going to cause a yield reduction, just the fact that it's there, even if it doesn't lodge. And so this project here behind me is looking at that specific question, where we have these exclusion cages set up to keep the wheat stem sawfly out of certain areas. Here in a couple of weeks, when the sawfly goes away, we will remove these cages, and we will look at and compare the wheat yield between an infested plot with an uninfested plot to truly understand what that yield reduction was, because these plots are adjacent one another. They've had the same rainfall, they're the same varieties, and we want to see what that is. But we also have different wheat varieties here. The easiest solution is to grow a wheat stem or a wheat variety that has either a semi-solid stem or a solid stem, and those tend to stand up a little bit better to sawfly. However, we also think that there's going to be a yield reduction in those if they are infested, and so we have hollow stem, semi-solid, and solid stem wheat varieties here in these cages, so we can make those comparisons.